In different parts of the world, the procedures or the processes by which students do long division are different. Here's a long division problem that we would see in our course. 5 goes into 36,295. And in the American school system, it's set up this way, where 5 goes into 36 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35. Subtract that, and we get 1, and we drop down the 2. 5 goes into 12 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10, and when we subtract it, we get 2, and we drop down the 9. 5 goes into 29 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. Subtract, and we have a 4, and drop down the 5. And the last one, 5 goes into 45 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45, and there is no remainder. Now, in other parts of the world, the exact same problem may look very different. And in fact, some of you may have seen it like this: 36,295 divided by 5, and it looks like this, where 5 goes into 36 how many times? 7. 5 times 7 is 35. And you subtract it, and you get 1, and you bring down the 2. 5 goes into 12 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. 12 minus 10 is 2. Drop down the 9. 5 goes into 29 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. Subtract it. 9 minus 5 is 4. Drop down the 5. And the last one, 5 goes into 45 9 times, which is 9 times 5 is 45. And you're like, hey, look, 0. And the numbers are just placed in different locations, but the process is all the same. I saw another one at some point where it was set up and looks like this. You say 5 goes into 36,295, and the answer is placed over here. 5 goes into 36 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35. Subtract, and there's the 1. Drop down the 2. And the process continues exactly the same with the answer over on the right and the number on the left. Subtract that, 2, drop down the 9. 5 goes into 29 5 times, and so on and so forth. And it's the same process. And there was yet one more that I'd like to show you that was kind of nifty. It was set up just like the American way. 5 goes into 36,295, but it used an unusual way of doing it. I thought it was unusual when I first saw it. 5 goes into 36, 7 remainder 1, and they put 7 there and put the 1 right there to make a 12. 5 goes into 12, 2 remainder 2. 5 goes into 29, 5 remainder 4, and 5 goes into 45 9 times. It was very consistent and concise, where instead of subtracting, they just moved that number right up to that location instead of bringing one down. Regardless of where you are from and what you are used to, in the videos you will see this algorithm being used because that is standard in the American school system. If you have learned a different scenario, maybe with a line down here, but the same system, you are welcome to use any algorithm for long division that you feel most comfortable with in doing your problems.